Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We are doing quadratic equations. We have derived formula for the quadratic equations. We have applied the formula. We know how to get the roots or the values for the quadratic equation. Okay, now let's sketch a graph for the quadratic equation. Let's take an example. Y is equal to x square minus 4x plus 3. So we have to sketch the graph for this example. Now, to sketch a graph, we need the values for the variable x and the variable y. Okay. If you remember exactly, this y value will give us the y-intercept, where the graph is going to touch the y-axis. And from this quadratic equation, we are going to get the values where it is touching the x-axis, right? And then we'll sketch the graph. So for this matter, what we are going to do is, so supposing when y is equal to 0, so we have x square minus 4x plus 3 is equal to 0. Now we can find the values of x either by midterm breaking or by applying the formula x is equal to minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac over 2a. So what we can do is we can check by both the methods what values we are going to get. Okay, so 1 and 3, so it's 3. So we have to make sure that when we are breaking the midterm, we need, by multiplying we need positive 3, and by adding we need minus 4. Okay, so x square minus 3x minus x plus 3 is equal to 0, and x minus 3 minus 1, x minus 3 is equal to 0. So x minus 3 into x minus 1 is equal to 0. Now x is equal to 3 or x is equal to 1. So these are the two values for x when y is equal to 0. So if we apply the same values over here, what are we going to get from here? Okay, what is b? Minus 4, and minus minus is plus, minus. So 4 square, it is 16, minus 4 is also 16, minus 4a, which is 1, 4, and 3, c is 3, so minus 12 over 2, so it is 4 plus minus 4 over 2, so we are left with plus minus 2 over 2, and it is 6 over 2 and 2 over 2, so we have 3 and 1. So both, either you apply this or this, we have the same values. Now we have done this. Now coming to this, when x is equal to 0, this equation will reduce to y is equal to 3. So this, when we are sketching the graph for this equation, the y-intercept is 3 and the x values are 3 and 1. Now once we sketch this graph, we'll be able to see the line of symmetry and the minimum or the maximum value. After we sketch the graph, we'll get to know we are going to get the maximum value or the minimum value, right? And in this case, we'll get the minimum value. So let's sketch the graph. Okay, now let's sketch the graph, and the values we have for x and y we have already calculated. The values for the x-axis were 1 and 3. So one point is this, here it is, x is 1 and y is 0. Okay, so we got this point when we said that, okay, when y is 0, let's find the values for the x. So y was 0, one value for the x was 1, another value is 3. Okay. Okay. And when x was 0, we got the value for y 3. So this is the case when x is 0 and y is 3. Okay. Now we have our points, so let's join them. Okay. And okay, this is our graph, fine. And since we can see it's a parabola graph, and this is the point here, it's giving us the minimum value. From here onward it is rising, from here onward it is rising this direction. Okay, so this is our minimum value, and this is the point at this point the graph is, we can divide the graph into exactly two halves. So this is the line of symmetry. This is line of symmetry. Okay, and the equation of line of symmetry is x is equal to 2, right? And the minimum point is this 2 and minus 1. When x is 2, y is minus 1, this is the minimum point. From this onwards, it rises, right? So this was the graph for the quadratic equation. Hope you got the idea, right? Thank you.